When the president was engaging some visitors at the Flagstaff House, he talked about the fund program, getting the program closed in February.
Right.
With respect to all these things that are happening, what is the impact on getting the board approval for Ghana's program?
Yeah. George, I'm confident that we'll get it. But as I mentioned earlier, we have a deadline of end of February for the Paris Club, and so we need to be able to do that. And in between there, we would have completed our domestic exchange program, and therefore to be able to go to board in March for this to be executed.
So we are looking somewhere in March rather to get
that's
the board approval for it as well.
That's correct.
Are we sure of getting everything needed to get the board approval? Because some are saying that we need the balance of payment support so badly.
We do need that, and it will come up. George, you know, we joined the fund program in July, and the president said that we should do our SLA by end of the year, and it looked impossible because it really hadn't been done before. And between the fund and the Ghanaian government, we worked hard, and we were able to do that. So it is that same spirit that we are working, and I expect that we'll be able to do that. To seal all these issues of balance of payment needs, and therefore get an economy that is running with macro stability.
Paris Club engagement,
yes.
I mean, how does it feel? You know, I know you've done your pitch and your presentation and all the rest. How are things looking at in terms of our debt cancellation?
Paris Club is not necessarily debt cancellation.
Oh.
It's a reprofiling of the debt, and basically we are now talking about the flow to look at the interest rates, to look at the maturity period, so that we can ensure that it does not exert any undue influence on that. The issues about debt relief and debt cancellation is a second issue that government will have to confront. And so you have your domestic exchange program, reducing our interest burdens and moving towards 55%. You have your Paris Club and other countries program, which helps, you know, smoothing out the needs for payments. And then you have your external bonds program to reduce, you know, the stock of that of your exposure during that period. A combination of all of that then leads us into the target zone that we're talking about: 55% debt to equity, debt to GDP, and 18%, you know, sort of debt service over revenue.
Help me with some education, please. So the Paris Club engagement is not a debt cancellation, but a debt reprofile? Or help me out, please.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at least in the first instance. You know, there are many levels of these things. How do you, because you are looking for financial assurances during this period. So that's an approach that you take. And we have said that if this end is not done quickly, and we get into this Zambia, Chad, Ethiopia mode, you know, we'll opt out of that. So that is clear that we should do it quickly. That gives comfort to all of these board members of the fund that yes, these development partners are all behind you in that program. And that will also then help us the debt exchange, domestic, the Paris Club discussions, and then the bond shareholders.
From your engagement, are you optimistic that the club would agree to the request that we put before them?
I believe so. I believe we make an exceptionally strong case as Ghana, and I think everybody is looking for the demonstration effect from us. We did a SLA in 5 months, and change hasn't been done before, the same way that we're expecting that we'll do this, and also sit with our external bond holders to also look at the future of the country, how to make sure that we protect their investments, but this is a period in which we all have to help.